Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. I am Adrienne, I live in New York City, and I love playing with makeup. This is my weekend makeup, which actually I haven't reported on in quite some time. And I promise I will be doing a chatty get ready with me to catch you up on my life. I have encountered some challenges. I have voluntarily brought on new challenges in my life. And so it's a little bit of a hodgepodge, and there just hasn't been any time to really play with makeup and enjoy it. That being said, I do want to report on a few things. I am also wearing a lot of new makeup on my face right now that I'd love to give my thoughts on. I finally have tried Girlactik. So it's not going to be like a roundup of nearly 2 months of makeup. It's really going to be sort of what I'm wearing on my face right now and maybe some new little odds and ends. And I also did a kind of face off with some of my putty like cheek products, but we'll get to those in a minute. So if that interests you, stay tuned. First thing on my face, I just put it on real quickly. This is a fantastic foundation, though it could be more full coverage than you think. This is by Covergirl and Olay. It's their Simply Ageless foundation. I wear mine in 225 Buff Beige. This is a little light for me right now. It's right now mixed a little, but it has like a swirl of Olay in it, and that's where it gets the skincare. It's still tried and true, and it's drugstore, and it's so good. I think you'd be very impressed by the finish. If you just put on a little bit, it's beautiful. It can be light, but you can also put it on more full coverage. I used like my IT Cosmetics brush, and it applied definitely more full coverage. Another foundation that I've been using and loving is the Chanel the Water Fresh Tint. I wear mine in the shade medium light. It's this one here. This is a smaller size of it, and it is just like one of those products where it has all those little color beads. It does have a fragrance. I don't know why people say this doesn't have a fragrance, but the fragrance is fairly light for a Chanel product, and it doesn't seem to irritate me. I really like this when I'm very happy with my skin. This is just really pretty on the skin, but it provides very light coverage, and I am a light coverage like queen, but that's even like, I wonder why I'm putting on my skin sometimes, but then I just kind of also like the glow. The other foundation I've been wearing a lot has been the Tower 28. I mean, you see I'm kind of making my way through this. This actually has a little bit more coverage than that Chanel, but gives my skin like a dewy, very youthful quality to it. It's very easy to apply to because it has a real nice applicator, which is like this fine tip applicator, and I could just put it on and smush it around, and it looks really good, and it's sort of effortless. And I've been taking this on trips when I've gone on trips and just feel very confident. The last one I will mention has been my NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer in Alaska. This one here, very similar to the Tower 28 in that I can put this on, and this I feel has even less coverage than the Tower 28 one. So this one is almost like in the middle between the Chanel and the Tower 28. And I sort of prefer this, which is kind of crazy because it's taken me a while to really love this because I thought the color was a little off, but honestly, it's not off. It's like a perfect color for me. I went away on a trip. I actually brought with me a bunch of putty or cream balmy cheek products because I wanted to see if wearing them side by side, if there were some that wore better than others. And so I wanted to kind of share my results. We have a bunch of Stila lip and cheek convertible. These are probably like one of my tried and true formulas. And although I really love it and I'm happy to report the longevity is there, I think mine have gone off a little. Like, so I have these little quads and it has like a coordinating shade. Unfortunately, when I wore these, although they wore for a super long time, I could see this one is well loved. Here It has the shade Gladiola in it, and it's called Tequila Sunrise. This is Magnolia, and it's called the Moonshine palette. This one's Peony here, which is a very popular nude pink shade. And this is the palette Malibu Sunset. And then I have a holiday quad from a few years ago from National Treasure quad number 1. It has Lilium, Petunia, Gerbera, and Patina. It's this one here. So all well loved, but punchline was that when I wore them on my cheeks, although they stuck on my cheeks all day long in hot Florida weather, it caused me to have like congestion and break out. That is my skin telling me that the product has gone off, because I can tell you that I have worn the Convertible lip and cheeks for years, for decades, I feel like, and I haven't had that problem, but I tend to get rid of them sooner, and these I've held on longer to because it's a quad and because it was these cute little kits, and I just think that the cream product turns. And so unfortunately I'm going to declutter these, but I would absolutely recommend, if there's a color that really speaks to you, it's an amazing product and it's totally worth getting. And I would totally get it down the road, especially a shade like Magnolia, one of my favorites. I would just warn, like, don't collect these cream products is what I'm getting at. I say that and I'm going to show you something, you know, that is horrifying. Another product that I really loved, and I loved so much, I picked up 2 other shades. This is by Rose Inc. This is their lip and cheek color. 2 of these I got in like a Sephora favorites set, and then I also picked up a 3rd. This is the shade Camelia. Kind of reminds me of Magnolia. I love how it goes on. It goes on beautifully. It's a really thick, balmy texture, very similar to that Stila texture. This is the shade Heliotrope, which is very popular, kind of reminds me of Lilium. And that was it. Like, I wanted to compare these with the Stila, kind of go head to head, because I feel like I had shades that all went together. And this is Delphine. And this one is just really pretty. I didn't find one in the Stila collection that I had that quite went with this. Although these go on beautifully, although I love the colors, they do not have the wear power of the Stila. The Stila far surpasses it. And I don't also like to powder over some of these cream products. So if you powder over it, maybe they last longer. But for me, if I go through that step, I'd rather just use a powder blush, because some of the beauty of using products like this is the finish it gives you, and I don't want to dull that finish in any way. Another one that didn't quite work for me, though I think this might be a shade issue, but I'm gonna have to try out the other shades. This is by MAC. It's their Glow Play Blush in Cheeky Devil. It's these here. They're like this putty texture, and although I love this color on, it's kind of this bright baby pink. This wore off in like a matter of like an hour. And I don't know if it's always done that and I've just never really noticed again wear time, or if it's this color. So I have a couple of other colors. I'm gonna test them out, but yeah, this not great. Now to the good news. I have discovered blushes that actually last really well on my skin in that type of texture, that kind of balmy, creamy, putty-like texture. And I'm happy to report one of them is the Makeup by Mario. This is in Barely Blushing. I really love this. It's so pretty. It's just so easy to put on. It's like a perfect shade. It goes with everything. Here I do have a collection of these guys. This is all by Half Magic Beauty. This was one of those situations that actually drove me to start this process of figuring out, like, how long do blushes last? Because these last a really long time on the cheek, and I love the colors and I love the textures, and I have all 5 shades. This product is called the Cheek Fluff, and I have it in shade Only Drama. This is sort of my newest, which I know you're like, what are you doing with this? But I swear to you, when you put this on, number one, the texture is crazy. It's such a crazy, beautiful color. But you can build this up and it's so smooth and sort of like very watercolory. on the cheeks, and I mean, look at that. It's such a pretty cool tone violet, but it goes. I can make this work. Also have the shade Magic Brownie. This is one of the first ones. This is sort of like when I don't want to wear bronzer and I want my, maybe I have more of a tan, but I'll swatch it for you too. It's just this pretty terracotta-y color, but there's a little bit of warmth and orange to it that when you put it here, it's just so good. And on vacation, it's so good. This one is Don't Be a Doll. This kind of corally pink. This is a very easy shade for me to wear. I like warmer tones, and that kind of peach is just, oof. I mean, I'm kind of like wearing it on my lips. This shade, Pink Mushroom, kind of replaced that MAC one, so I wasn't so sad about it because it's very light. And this one is a little more neutral leaning than being pink. It's also peachy, but it has some pink and is a little bit lighter than that other color. But it's such a forgiving color, very easy to wear every day. And then the last color I have is Sexual Flushtration. It's this bright watermelon pink, and it's just so pretty. This is probably the most pigmented of all. Really build it up. But you see, even though it's very bright and you can get it to be bright, you just work it into the skin and it just, again, has this kind of watercolor effect, but definitely like brighter poppy pink, that lavender, and those three in the middle are a little bit more neutral leaning. I really love these blushes. I mean, again, sort of, I would never buy every single color of anything unless I already really loved it. And like I said, it sort of drove me to reanalyze my collection of this type of product. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. The other blush I'm wearing is by Girlactik. It's the one I'm wearing right now. This is just their matte blush, and I have mine in Madrid Duo, this one here. I don't love this. Number one, the pan size is insanely small. Like if you wanted to just get this color or this color on your cheeks, you have to use a very small brush, which I have. I love my Real Techniques concealer brush. I use this for everything, and I could just kind of go in there and add it on to the cheeks. But it's really just kind of silly that it's so small for a split pan. And this color, I can add this back here, a little bit darker. I mean, they're pretty colors. What I don't think you can tell is they're just very chalky, sort of very flat, matte. I just don't think it's a wonderful product. It's very cute, and I like the colors, and I like the color combination that they're so different from one another, so you're getting like somewhat of a value. The problem is the pan size and the fact that it's just this matte that just sort of sits on the skin. And I even used some setting spray to see if could I get it to melt into my skin, and it just still kind of just feels like it's sitting on my skin. And honestly, like if you have perfect, flawless, you know, cheek area, like skin, maybe you like that kind of like powdery diffuse. It's just not for me. For bronzer, I also whipped out my Soft Sculpt Transforming by Makeup by Mario in light medium. It's what I'm wearing today, this one here. I have been loving this, and it's such an easy bronzer to use. It just does its job, and it's so easy to blend. So I really enjoy it. I've been loving it. I also whipped out my Fenty cream bronzer, my Cheeks Out cream bronzer in Butter Biscuit. This one here. Now this one, you could see I've loved it. I almost hit pan on it. This one is such a beautiful color on my skin, and I love the packaging and everything. This is another cream product though that has gone off, and when I use it, I break out. But this one, it's been a really long time. Do I love it? Yes. Would I repurchase it? Absolutely. A powder blush I was loving was this one by L'Oreal, the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer, I have mine in the shade 300. I like so much the blushes that I wanted to try the bronzer. And so the days I wear this, it's just so pretty. And it smooths out texture and gives you this like very painted look, like almost you've been airbrushed. It's a very fine, smoothing powder. It does have a little bit of a fragrance, which I'm not keen on, but it works really well. My skin doesn't respond to it, and I just think it gives me this very diffused effect. I had repurchased the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the original bronzer. Now, when I tell you this was a bronzer I used to wear, and it was the only bronzer I used to wear. I went through 3 of these. I hit pan. One of the rare products that I hit pan on all the way through. In fact, Physicians Formula is one of the few brands that I've gone through products from beginning to end. This product was one of them, as well as their Healthy Foundation, which they got rid of. But I went through 3 bottles of that, which is crazy for me because I have a huge makeup collection. That is how much I love those 2 products. They discontinued my Healthy Foundation, so and now I can tell you this is not the same bronzer. This is not the same bronzer as when it was in the yellow packaging. It is just not. It's not. It doesn't even have the same scent. The texture is, it's just not the same. It's not the same. I don't care. I don't know what they are doing over there, but I'm essentially off of Physicians Formula. It's a brand that I had so much love for, especially with their focus on hypoallergenic makeup for the drugstore. And it was always, you know, more costly, but I liked the investment because I felt like they were delivering really amazing products. But I really think that they are falling short. I don't know. They've transitioned hands. Something's going on over there. I smell a rat. I smell a rat, and this is going away. What I'm wearing on my eyes today is from Girlactik. I am wearing 2 of their metallic eye sparkles. This is shimmer, this kind of just neutral taupe. I'm wearing that on my inner third. And then this one is more pinky. This one's love. I'm wearing this kind of everywhere. And it just has such a nice sheen to it without being overly chunky, the sparkles. So it's something that can easily be worn in the day. And I think it will be like subtle and pretty, but you could probably amp it up with a little bit of another kind of topper, and it would form a really nice base. And on the outer corner of my eye, I am wearing their shadow stick in the shade Bark. Now this is great. I am very, very picky with shadow sticks. I have extremely oily eyelids, and not all shadow sticks perform, and I'm gonna get to one that was a dud for me. But this one is so rich, so creamy. I had it here blended out light, and it's still on my hand, and it's been there for the whole day because I wanted to test its longevity even when I washed my hands and stuff. But it blends so nice. It's so creamy. Reminds me very much of the By Terry formula, which says a lot because By Terry is very expensive, but this one's more affordable, and I just think it's great. And look at that pretty, I was able to buff it out and create this really like soft effect without it being like this dark, but you can build it to be darker. Yeah, very surprised. This is obviously a star product for me. I went ahead and I purchased 2 of the new Fenty eyeshadow sticks. They're awful. They're awful for my eyelids. And I question whether they would be right for a lot of people's eyelids. So the shades that I picked up, Amber and Get On Taupe. So the Amber is this shade here, and it's supposed to like match the skin tone, and for that purpose, it's actually pretty nice. But these dry so quickly, and it's so tuggy on the skin. And the skin is so delicate around the eye, and as you get older, it's even more delicate. This is just way too tuggy to apply, and then you need a really good buffing brush. Like, it better not be a soft bristled brush to blend it out, because you have no time, and it's going to be very patchy. This is an absolute dud for me. I hate these. I'm gonna return them actually. Also picked up the Get On Taupe, thinking, this one's shimmer, thinking that they would be such a nice complement to each other. So here, it looks super foiled and beautiful, right? But when you put this on the eye, it does not remain like that. It fades away, and it's just not a good formula. It really is not a good formula. And I love so much of what Fenty puts out there, but this is a dud, dud, dud. When I have done my eyes, I started off with the Moira Magic Dreaming palette. This one here, so much fun. I tried nearly all of these and I created such beautiful looks. I don't think I took pictures though because I've been very irresponsible, but I'll tell you, the formula is really great. These metallics are so buttery. The mattes are easy to work with. For the price point, it's so affordable and you can have so much fun with this color story. Like, it's actually an inspired color story that I think, like, go for that. Go for Moira, like that type of format over ColourPop. Like, I just find that to be much more inspiring than some of what ColourPop's releases have been. I also bit the bullet and picked up the I Need a Nude palette by Natasha Denona. I have been enjoying this. I have used it more than a handful of times. Do I think you need this? I think it's pretty basic, honestly. There's not a lot that's amazing from it, but it's like amazingly consistent. Natasha Denona, I don't know if that makes sense. If you're like a Natasha Denona fan like I am, I think you would like it, but is it necessary? No. I could probably, with as much as I have from Natasha Denona, you know, be able to replicate this. On my eyebrows today, I have my KVD Brow Stroke, which I love, but I recently picked up Precisely My Brow in 3.5, and I love this shade on me. I just think it goes really well with sort of my grays and the blondes, and I don't have to swap between two pencils. I was using, when I used my Precisely My Brow, I was using 5 and also gray to create this kind of soft effect. Well, 3.5 kind of does it for me in one sort of fell swoop. So loving 3.5. For mascara, I am wearing the Girlactik, the Lash Play Duo Mascara. It has two sides to it. One is sort of a regular wand that comes out like a little bit of a taper, natural bristles. And on the other side is the smaller one. And this is supposed to be for your lashes below. This is very nice. My eyelashes look great today. I only have one coat of this on the top. On the bottom, I sort of like followed the rules. It's very, very nice. This is a very popular product of Girlactik's, and I have to admit, like, it's nice. And yeah, I just like the way it wears. Now, I also like the fact that it's not like, my eyelashes are soft, so they're not, even though they're holding their shape, they're not crunchy. I have a few others in rotation, but I feel like I don't want to talk about them just yet. I have a few lip products that I just want to mention. First, let's just talk about what's on my lips. The reason I even ventured into Girlactik territory was to try this Jello Gloss Balm I purchased in the shade Tulip, which is a very bright corally orange, and you can see it. It actually does turn up, and so it can get a little messy because it's very melty, but it's so nice. I totally get the hype. It creates this really like juicy effect, but it adheres to the lips. So it does have a scent. It smells like those markers that have a scent in them. The like sketch markers. I grew up with these. It smell like the pink one or the grape one. It just has this like artificial fruity scent, but it isn't offensive, and the product itself is so nice. It's just such a nice texture. if your lips are a little bit dry and you went and put this on without exfoliating first, you're gonna feel it. And I could tell I should have probably exfoliated my lips first. So I can feel it catching onto my lip skin. If I look up close, it actually doesn't highlight the lip skin, so that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I would absolutely pick up another shade of that one. It's a very unique product. The other product that I tried of theirs was the glossy lip liner, also informational card. I picked mine up in Stila because I thought that that color would go really well with this one, and it did. This feels like a lipstick, so it is super creamy. I mean, super creamy. So glides on like a dream, but it doesn't set down. It doesn't dry down completely so that it's a stay put type of thing. So I would consider this literally like a skinny, skinny, skinny cream lipstick. It should not call itself a lip liner because though you can line it, it's not gonna stay put. It's not gonna dry down. It's not what you expect from a lip liner. So I don't think that this is the best product. Before I show you the last Girlactik product, I do want to make mention, I did pick up Odyssey Lip Oil by Milk. I have two shades. This one is the shade Explorer. It's like a peachy coral, very similar to the shade I was just wearing. So I'll quickly put it on. This is such a comfortable formula. It has a slight vanilla scent. Very comfortable. Feels like a hybrid between a gloss and a balm and an oil, but it also creates like a little bit of a bind to it, so it's not gonna just disappear. I'm really keen on getting some of the darker shades. It's a really nice product, and I feel like you get a lot of product. Another product I've been very happy with has been the Milani Fruit Fetish. This is in their new nude line, and I have mine in 200 Cocoa Cacao, and this one I've really enjoyed. Very similar doe foot to, you know, kind of the Clarins. It has a nice chocolatey scent to it. The color is not, it's there, but it's not too chocolatey. It feels very hydrating, very plush. I like it better than actually the Clarins lip oil, and very affordable. You do still get that chocolate scent, but I kind of love it, and it doesn't irritate my lips. It also has, though, a little bit of a sweet taste, which for me is actually a negative because I don't want to like lick my lips or kind of taste product. So that would be my only criticism, is I wish they would remove the taste from it. The last product, which is by Girlactik, it is their long-lasting matte lip paint. I have mine in the shade Playful. This is a liquid lipstick, and I don't know why I bought this because I'm not a liquid lipstick wearer, but I'm glad I did. So that's the color Playful. I love this color. It's a beautiful color. It's beautiful to have in a liquid lipstick formula. I am really impressed with this liquid lipstick. I am not a big fan of liquid lipstick. This one dries down completely. It will be transfer proof in about 5 minutes or so. And it feels going on like it's super thin, very similar to the Too Faced matte formula. That thinness that has, also the precision on the brush is pretty amazing. But what I love about this one is it really doesn't accentuate lip lines. It's matte, but my lips still look like healthy, and that's pretty extraordinary. I also like this color. It's sort of like a pinkened brown, and yeah, I think it's perfect for fall. So I really do like this. I think this is going to be a great color. I'm happy that I got it because I think I was trying to make a minimum or something, and that's why I bought it. But they also look like they have some really pretty shades. So if you are a matte lip wearer, you might really love this. You might already know about this. I did not know about this. This was very cathartic for me because now I can throw out some things and actually move things along. I promise not to be an insane stranger anymore. I'm very sorry. If you have any questions about any of these products, though, let me know down below. I'm happy to chat, and we will talk soon. Okay, take care, everyone.